What is the primary purpose of using alcohol-based hand sanitizer in a healthcare setting? Option A says to completely eliminate all types of germs and pathogens from hands. So you might remember from previous questions, anytime you see these harsh words, these completelys, these never, these always, very, very rarely will that be your choice, because it's very rare to say, oh, completely eliminate? Well, you can't really completely eliminate. That means that there will be absolutely no germs left on the hand. It's totally vanished. And that's not the case with alcohol-based hand sanitizer or any hand washing method. There always will be some level still left on your hands. And anytime you see these very harsh sounding words, that's usually not the answer. So we could eliminate option A. Option B says to provide a long-lasting residual effect against microbial growth. And for option B, when it says long-lasting, we're not entirely sure that could be very accurate, because if you're in a healthcare setting, there's a chance that you could contaminate your hands again and then need to use hand sanitizer again. So I'm not sure it would be necessarily long-lasting, but let's take a look at the other choices. We'll keep this one open for now. Option C says to rapidly reduce the number of transient and resident microbes on hands when soap and water are not readily available. And this makes sense if you don't have soap and water, which is considered your gold standard for hand hygiene. Hand sanitizer is the next best alternative, and it is true that it works very quickly. As soon as you apply it and then you lather it on, it should start to work, and it does rapidly reduce the number of microbes on the hands, as opposed to option A that's saying it'll completely eliminate it. So option C is sounding like a really good answer. We will choose that for now, but let's take a look at option D just to be sure. Option D says to remove visible dirt and debris from hands before aseptic procedures. So now this is a tempting choice, because you might see to remove dirt and debris before aseptic procedures, and you might think, oh yeah, you clean your hands before you perform the procedures to get all the germs off. So this sounds like a good choice. However, the key part here is dirt and debris. And the proper protocol for hand hygiene is that anytime your hands are considered visibly soiled, like this, visibly soiled, to always use soap and water to clean it. The hand sanitizer alone will not be as effective, unless, I guess, if you're in some sort of situation where that's really all that you have, that's the next best thing. But in a healthcare setting, it is understood that you should have soap and water on hand. And if your hands are visibly soiled with any sort of bodily fluids, you should absolutely be using soap and water and not hand sanitizer. So therefore, we could eliminate option D. And then going back between options B and C, options B was saying the long-lasting residual effect, which we weren't too sure about because it's not necessarily long-lasting. So I guess we could eliminate that because we see option C is correct. To rapidly reduce the number of transient and resident microbes in the hands when soap and water are not readily available, that in fact is an appropriate use of alcohol-based hand sanitizer.